It's a Fireside Chat, y'all.
Welcome back to another Fireside Chat, where we bring casual technology conversations to you. With us, I have Marshall Hill, Solutions Architect, and we're talking security.
Well, thanks for having me on the show, Sean. Yeah, customers are actually concerned about lack of visibility. I mean, even in today's world where customers have invested in next-gen, even firewalls, and they have antivirus, they have management tools, they're still having a lack of visibility with guests coming onto their network, contractors coming into their office, and really struggling just with endpoint visibility. And so that would be one of the challenges.
So really just having visibility. Now I think you mentioned, we were talking earlier and you were talking about this layered approach.
Definitely.
Tell me more about that. I mean, is that something that, traditionally a customer has a firewall, we're good? What else is there?
Yeah, so with the layered approach, it's looking at all the attack vectors, and then trying to correlate that together in a meaningful way that a person can actually see what's happening onto their network, and they're able to actually determine if a vulnerability has reached other parts of their network.
So basically, just having a holistic view of what's happening on the network.
Definitely so, and I think also with the newer technologies out there, it's being able to leverage some of the power of the cloud and kind of artificial intelligence. So definitely, I think this layered approach is an area that customers are warming up to. It's no longer just simply edge firewall security and antivirus on a desktop.
So one of the concerns that I have, here, obviously we bring in a lot of customers. We have customers, vendors coming into the office all the time. And in our conference rooms, there's shared access, right? There's ports available and people can just plug right in and be on our network. What are some of the challenges you're seeing there? I mean, is that something common you hear from customers that they're concerned about?
I think being able to identify those endpoints, being able to, see, not just that this is a corporate asset or that this is a, BYOD or guest device, but also the type of person and, is this an employee or is
posture.
This posture assessments for corporate devices, being able to isolate non-corporate devices. Possibly you may want to be able to still provide them internet access, but you don't want them accessing, any of your servers.
So almost like a red light, green light. Hey, you're corporate, you get access to the corporate network. Hey, you're a untrusted resource, we're going to give you a guest or access to the internet only.
And that's the first approach I see a lot of customers take. You want to be as least disruptive when you're introducing new technologies, but at the same time, as customers go down this path, they start to mature that and isolate even based on the person and the department that they're in.
Okay.
So you may have people where from a network segmentation that they're able to access certain servers like finance servers if they're in the finance group. Right. However, if you're in sales, you're not having that same level of access.
So fine tune based on whatever their role is in the company, essentially.
That's right. And then some of the other challenges would be, is the network sophisticated enough to identify the type of device? If it's a printer, you unplug a printer. A lot of times we'll see a network port that's statically configured. Maybe it has some ACLs, and that's awesome. But to constantly call IT and change that when the device change isn't really realistic.
Right.
And so, for instance, in a conference room, shared spaces, as we were talking about, there are some things that you can do. You could say, all ports in the conference room just provide public internet access. However, when someone actually comes in that's an employee and starts calling IT, I can't get to this particular file that's in this shared drive, and I need to do a presentation. It doesn't look good. So being able to have an intelligent network that's able to identify this is a corporate asset and this is a corporate user, and allow them access to their files is a great way to go in a shared environment.
So what we're talking about here is really 802.1x authentication on the ports, but some additional things as well.
Well, some additional management software,
Okay.
because
Okay.
8021X, from a certificate-based, it's a start, but how do you manage the certificates? How do you deploy those certificates
Okay.
to the endpoints?
Okay.
And then how do you report on what's happening on your network? But I don't think the story stops there.
Right.
I mean, that's definitely a big piece of it. But we also want to have visibility into a machine that might be rogue or might have a virus or something malicious, and we want to be able to identify that. And so some of the other areas that we're seeing customers ask is about the advanced malware and being able to
great point.
have some visibility and protection against malicious files.
So along those lines, we kind of talked about this perimeter. We talked about the inside of the network. Talking about people bringing in devices, plugging right in. That's really at the core of the network. What are some of the things that you're seeing, I guess, outside of that core perimeter, or maybe leveraging cloud, some of those technologies that will ensure security regardless of where they're at?
That's been a challenge. I think that in the past, some companies would have an always-on VPN.
Mm-hmm.
And so when a corporate asset left their network, how do you protect that endpoint? How do you protect that laptop?
Right.
And so they would backhaul all of that traffic all the time back to their security platform that's in their data center, for instance. It's not very efficient, and it doesn't always work for the end users. Sometimes they're in an area that they can't establish that VPN.
Mm-hmm.
The shared network at a hotel is blocking certain ports. And so to give the end users a better experience while they're remote, offering certain cloud security products definitely can help augment an on-prem corporate security. So that's becoming more popular. And then being able to tie that back into your on-prem security, so you're not dealing with so many different products and dashboards. We're seeing that become more of a demand from customers. Make it simple, make it work, and for the new workforce, that's mobile.
Okay, so if I was to sum it up, essentially we've got a layered security approach where we're concerned about public use spaces. There's some technologies out there that enable cloud to ensure security wherever they go, whether they're on premise, they're out remotely. We know that there's traditional VPN, but now there's technologies like we talked about OpenDNS. That's a good technology that would enable validation of where these users are going, regardless of if they're behind the network or outside of the network. And we can get some visibility on where they're going and what they're doing from a single pane of glass. So I think that's pretty great.
No, definitely. Thank you.
So with that, I think it was great having you here. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you, Sean. It's been a pleasure, and I look forward to the next one.
If you have any questions or suggestions, you can email us at firesidechat@lookingpoint.com. Thanks for watching.
It's a Fireside Chat, y'all.